It started on a Monday. A bloody Monday. Jason was walking to school when he saw something strange in the forest. A shadow. It moved too fast, too quiet. He stopped. He looked nothing, but he heard Ida whisper, "Don't go to school today?" Jason froze. Who's there? He called out silence. Then the whisper again, closer this time. "They will all bleed." Jason ran at school. Jason told Emily. She laughed at first. Then she saw his face. Pale. Scared. Maybe it was just the wind, she said, trying to stay calm. But her voice shook. Mrs. Green was teaching history. Today's topic? The Bloody Monday Massacre. In 1902, 13 students found dead. No killer. No blood trail. Just one word carved on the wall. Return. Jason looked at Emily. Emily looked at Jason. Mrs. Green smiled too. Much too wide, too wrong. Jason couldn't focus in class. His eyes kept drifting to Mrs. Green. She wasn't blinking, just standing by the chalkboard staring. She wrote on the board, "History repeats itself." Then she turned around and said in a calm voice, "Class, does anyone believe in ghosts?" No one answered. Then the lights flickered twice. Buzz, buzz. SNAP darkness. A few students gasped. When the lights came back on, the chalkboard was clean. The words were gone, but something else had appeared. Blood dripping from the ceiling. Splat, splat. It hit a desk. Madison Green's desk. Mrs. Green's niece. She screamed. Everyone looked up. There were no pipes above. No leak. Just the old ceiling tiles and the fresh red drops running down the walls. "Someone's messing with us," said Sheriff Walker when he arrived. Some prank, but Jason knew better. So did Emily later that night. Jason couldn't sleep. He kept hearing it again, that same whisper from the woods. 13 must fall. Again. He sat up in bed. His phone buzzed. One new MESSHE. An unknown number. "Your number 2. Jason dropped the phone out. Something was coming the next morning. Jason didn't want to go to school, but he did. Emily met him outside the school gates. "I got the same message," she whispered, "from a blocked number. Mine said, 'You're number 3. Jason swallowed hard. The halls of Willow Creek High felt cold, too quiet. The lights flickered again. The same hallway where the blood dripped yesterday was now spotless. No blood. No stains. Almost like it never happened. Almost. As students walked past locker number 13, they heard something strange, a scratching sound, like nails on metal. Then came the screaming, not loud but soft, like someone was crying. From inside the locker, Jason stepped closer. "Hello?" He whispered. Silence. Then bang. The locker door burst open on its own, slamming into the wall. Empty, except for one thing. A photo, old, faded. It showed a classroom full of students dressed in 1900s clothes. 13 of them, all staring at the camera, their eyes scratched out. Jason showed the photo to Emily. "Look," she said, pointing. "That's this school. That classroom behind them, that's Mrs. Green's room." Suddenly, the photo changed one by one. The scratched out faces were reappearing, not as students, but as their classmates. Jason, Emily, others from their class, all 13. And below the photo, new words had appeared in red. "They are waking up." Jason didn't want to be in school anymore. He didn't want to see that smile again. Mrs. Green had always been weird. But now, she was wrong. At lunch, Jason and Emily sat away from everyone. The cafeteria was loud, but they felt alone. Jason pulled out the photo, again the one from the locker. Their faces were still there, now fully visible. Jason, Emily, Tyler, Sophia, Marcus, all 13, except something was new now at the bottom of the photo. In red ink, "You cannot run from history." Emily stared at it. "Do you think this is a curse?" Jason nodded. "I think it's already started." That's when the screaming began from the hallway. Everyone turned. A girl, Sophia Adams, ran into the lunchroom, her face white with terror. "Something's in my locker. It tried to pull me in." The school went into panic. Teachers rushed out. Sheriff Walker came again, but they found nothing in the locker except a red handprint on the inside later. After school, Jason and Emily stayed behind. They sneaked into the library. Emily had a theory. Let's look at old school records. See if there was a Mrs. Green. In 1902, they searched and found here a black and white photo, same name, Eleanor Green. She was a teacher in 1902. She looked the same, exactly the same, not older, not younger. Jason whispered. She hasn't aged. Not in over 100 years. Then, they found the article WLLW Creek Massacre, 13 students dead. Teacher Eleanor Green, found unarmed. Claims she heard voices in the walls. No killer identified. One word carved in wood. Aritu and Emily looked up from the article. Jason froze, standing. In the doorway of the dark library was Mrs. Green, and she was smiling too wide. Too sharp. Too wrong. Researching the past? She said calmly. Good, because you're going to become it. The next morning, everything felt wrong. The school bell rang at 8 a.m. like always, but something was off. It rang once, twice, three. Time, it didn't stop. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then, silence. The entire school froze. Students stared at each other. Emily whispered. That wasn't normal. Jason's phone buzzed again. Yuan Kano EE number today. Someone joins the photo. At 10:23 a.m., the power cut out. No lights, no signal, no escape. Then the speakers crackled. Mrs. Green's voice echoed through the halls. Attention, students. History is now in session. A scream rang out down the east hallway. Jason and Emily ran toward it. There, outside locker number 13, was Tyler on the ground, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a silent screen, dead above his body, scratched deep into the locker. Metal 12 remain, and next to him a new photo, just like the old one, but this one showed Tyler's face fully faded. His place was empty. Jason grabbed the photo. Hands shaking, the ink bled in his hands. Like it was alive. Emily cried, "We have to get out of here." They turned, and there was Mrs. Green, her skin pale, her dress soaked in red, eyes black like a starless sky. She raised her hand, and behind her, the hallway began to melt. Yes, the walls were warping. Bleeding, the lockers opened and closed by themselves, banging like screams. Mrs. Green whispered, "You were warned, but you stayed, and now history will take you." Jason and Emily ran down the hall, up the stairs. Everywhere they turned, the school looked older, like it was rotting, like they were inside. 1902, time was folding, and the bell started ringing again. 1, 2, 3. Jason and Emily found a door at the end of the hallway. It wasn't there before. Old, rusted, painted black with a number carved into it. XII. Jason grabbed the knob. Emily whispered, "Don't." He turned it anyway. It creaked open to reveal a spiral staircase. Downward. They stepped in. The door shut behind them, hard. Slammed. Now there was no going back. The staircase was stone, wet, cold, echoing. They walked in silence, counting the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. The air got colder. Their breath became mist. Jason stopped. "You hear that?" Emily nodded. It was faint, but clear. A whisper from below. "Step 13 is where you vanish." They looked at each other, then kept walking. Step 8, step 9, step 10. The whispering turned into chanting, low, humming, in a language neither of them knew. Step 11, step 12, and then step 13. Suddenly, everything changed. The staircase ended in a massive underground room like a dungeon. Candles lined the walls. Old desks were set up like a classroom. At the front of the room was a blackboard, and a woman standing in front of it. Not Mrs. Green. The original Mrs. Green, dressed in black lace. Veil over her face. Behind her 13 chairs. 12 filled with motionless students. The 13th was empty. Jason stared at the frozen students. They were the missing ones. Tyler, Sophia, others from their class. Eyes open, faces blank. Skin. Gray. Emily screamed. They weren't dead. They were trapped. Still alive. Still watching. The old Mrs. Green slowly lifted her veil. Her face had no eyes. Just hollow, bleeding sockets. 1 seat left, she whispered. Time for the final lesson. Suddenly, the candles blew out. The ground shook. The 13th chair creaked and turned toward Jason. Jason stared at the 13th chair. It was moving, scraping across the stone floor by itself, slowly toward him. Emily grabbed his arm. We have to go. Now. They turned, slammed out the staircase behind them. Was gone. No door, no exit, just stone and chanting. Louder now. From everywhere and nowhere, the frozen students in the chairs began to twitch. Their heads turned toward Jason, eyes wide, black tears dripping down. Tyler's voice escaped his unmoving lips. Sit down, Jason, or we all stay here forever. Jason backed up. The old Mrs. Green raised her hands. Blood dripped from her fingers like ink. She began writing on the chalkboard behind her. But there was no chalk. She was writing with her own blood. It spelled one word. N-O-U. The bell began to ring. Dong. The room shook. Dong. The chairs creaked. Students screamed without moving their mouths. Dong. Jason covered his ears, but the sound was inside his head. Emily shouted, "It's calling you." Don't listen, but she was gone. Just like that. Gone. No sound. No scream. Just gone. The room was empty now. Just Jason, the chair, and the bell. He took a step forward, then another. The chair stopped moving. He sat down. For one terrible second, nothing happened. Then his vision blurred. His skin went cold. He felt like he was falling through time, through space, through screams. He opened his eyes and found himself in classroom. Bright lights, desks, students, Emily sitting beside him. He blinked. Everything looked normal. But on the chalkboard, in fresh red ink, "Welcome back. You're next, Emily." And behind the desk, Mrs. Green, smiling, always smiling. Jason sat frozen in his seat. Emily beside him, smiling, but not like before. Her eyes were too wide, her head tilted just wrong. "Emily?" he whispered. She didn't answer. Her lips curled into a smile. Mrs. Green turned to the board and spoke. "Today, class, we take our final photo." Click. Jason looked down. A camera was on his desk. Old Polaroid. It was already flashing, already printing. The photo slid out. He picked it up with shaking hands and saw it. The same old black and white classroom photo. Except now, all 13 faces were clear. Jason, Emily, Tyler, Sophia. All of them. Trapped. Eyes wide. Smiles painted on. But as Jason stared closer, something moved. In the photo. His own face turned toward him and whispered, "We never left." He dropped the photo, looked up, but the classroom was gone. No desks, no light, just darkness and shadows. 13 of them. Jason's shadow stepped forward. It had his face but no soul. "You sat in the chair," it said. "Now you belong." Jason screamed, but no sound came out. He was inside the photo now. And on the wall of the real school, a new picture appeared. Old, faded, framed in black, a label. Under it, Willow Creek class of 1902, return complete. No one noticed. No one questioned it. Except one girl, a freshman, new to the school. She stared at the photo and saw one face blink, and far away in the woods, a whisper began again. 13. Must fall. The shadows are always listening.